If James Comer's failed impeachment effort against President Joe Biden wasn't so dang dishonest, I would almost feel bad for Comer because things just keep getting worse for him. I have a couple of updates on the effort by Republicans to distract from their stunning lack of a meaningful policy agenda and inability to govern in the House with an impeachment spectacle involving Joe Biden. The big news this week is that James Comer subpoenaed members of the Biden family, but we need to backtrack and discuss some of what I haven't yet covered with James Comer recently. And honestly, it's sort of hilarious. He just keeps stepping on rakes. So a few weeks ago, the big bombshell Republicans were trying to sell us on was that they found the bribe. They found it. Oh my goodness. Here it is, the big moment. And what was pointed to was a check that was sent from James Biden, brother of Joe Biden, to Joe Biden. And the check, on it, the words were written, loan repayment. But James Comer said, no. See, they were pretending it was a loan repayment, but really Joe Biden had never paid James Biden originally $200,000. And this was James Biden funneling money to Joe Biden as a part of their influence peddling operation we've been selling to you. Well, the first thing that's hilarious about this is, number one, Biden wasn't president or vice president when this happened. It was 2018, so he was a private citizen. And number two, as CNN reports, banking records reviewed by CNN, which Comer's committee possesses, provide substantial evidence in support of the Democrats' assertions that there was indeed a $200,000 loan from Joe Biden to James Biden less than 2 months before the James Biden loan repayment check to Joe Biden for the same amount. So you can follow the money trail. Biden, as again at that time a private citizen who was making lots of money on speaking gigs and book deals as a public figure no longer in office, loaned his brother money, which you can do. And a little later, his brother paid it back, which you could and should do. The horror, though, once again, them attempting to make something out of nothing. And there was a similar situation with a $40,000 loan repayment in 2017. Again, Biden wasn't president or vice president, and there's 0.0 bits of evidence to reveal this is representative of anything wrong whatsoever. Well, the story got so much more humiliating for James Comer because it was revealed, this is, if you haven't heard this yet, so hilarious, that he did the exact same thing that he's making a stink about when it comes to Biden with his own brother, but actually under more concerning circumstances for the exact same amount. The Daily Beast reports, James Comer, like Joe Biden, also paid his brother $200,000. According to Kentucky property records, Comer and his own brother have engaged in land swaps related to their family farming business, in one deal also involving $200,000, as well as a shell company. The more powerful and influential Comer channeled extra money to his brother, seemingly from nothing. Other recent land swaps were quickly followed with new applications for special tax breaks, state records show. All of this, perplexingly, related to the dealings of a family company that appears to have never existed on paper. But unlike the Bidens, Comer's own history actually borders a conflict of interest between his official government role and his private family business. And it's been going on for decades. And then listen to this. This is just pretty stunning, I gotta say. Comer's investigative efforts have so far failed to show that Joe Biden's loans have any connection to family business dealings, let alone to actions while holding elected office. Comer, however, exercised government influence directly over his family's industry for nearly 20 years. Comer has held important positions in agriculture oversight since 2003. While running a family farming business, and these roles overlapped in 2019, the year of the land swaps. He only stepped back from an agriculture oversight role recently in 2020, 1 year after the family business pivoted away from farming. So to get this clear, he's actually exerting power over the very industry that he's involved in with his family business. Come on. And the Daily Beast just found all sorts of strange details about some of the specifics of this story, and we won't spend a bunch of time diving into it, but the company he ran with his father and brother was called Comer Land and Cattle, but there's no business filings for a company with that name anywhere in Kentucky. And Comer also says he has a personal agriculture company called James Comer Jr. Farms, but there's no official records for a business with that name that could be found, and some other things as well. Just really strange there, James. Now, if I had the same commentating ethics as a lot of these right-wingers, I would just immediately jump to, well, clearly something shady is going on. Clearly it's the Comer crime family or something, as they would say, and make all these assertions about what might answer for all these bizarre details. I won't jump to those conclusions because we don't yet have evidence that would support some story of a shady Comer situation. All I'll say is it's a little weird for James Comer to be justifying an impeachment effort against Biden with this quote-unquote evidence when Biden's money trail appears to show a very clear and appropriate reason for money exchanging hands between him and his brother, when Comer's doing the same thing within more questionable circumstances. It does sound like a little bit, if he's consistent, it's time for James Comer to launch an investigation into James Comer. Now, as to the other goings on of this impeachment investigation situation, I mentioned at the top of the video that James Comer has subpoenaed James and Hunter Biden and wants them to come in for testimony. Also, he subpoenaed other family members as well. Here's this being reported from CBS News.
House Republicans have issued subpoenas for 2 members of the Biden family.
It is one of the most aggressive steps of the impeachment inquiry into the president to date. The House GOP Oversight Committee is looking to speak with President Biden's son, Hunter, and the president's brother, James, as well as several others. It is the latest move in the committee's year-long investigation into the president and his family. The committee claims to have uncovered evidence that members of the Biden family used the family name in their business dealings, especially with clients overseas. So far, no direct evidence has been found implicating the president.
For more on this, let's bring in CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge. Catherine, how significant of a move is this by the committee?
Well, good to be with both of you. It is a very significant escalation in this investigation because it's the first time in my memory that members of the president's immediate family have been subpoenaed by the committee. As you mentioned, his brother James Biden, Hunter Biden, as well as a former business partner. But secondary to that, they're also asking for transcribed interviews with other family members and other business partners. And those transcribed interviews have the same application as being under oath, so you can't lie in those and get off scot-free. Committee aides say that you should look at this process as a 2-step process, that they obtain the banking records, that laid the foundation or sort of the lattice work for this investigation, and now they're going back in and they're doing very targeted subpoenas to talk to individuals who they believe were the decision makers and know the most about the money flow and how it was dispersed.
So it's a pretty serious escalation. He's now actually going after the family members of Joe Biden. And I just don't know where all this goes. I've said it before, but they admitted they would need more evidence, or like any evidence at all, to justify impeaching Biden. But they just keep looking and looking and looking. And so I don't know how this all ends. We'll just see. But James Comer released a really strange video to make this announcement where he's signing the subpoenas very dramatically. And the video didn't have any audio, so I'll add some music while you watch it. Take a look. Just such a pointless and cringy video. So in response, Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz, and I'll put this one up next to me while I explain, released a video of his own mimicking James Comer signing his own subpoenas, obviously jokingly, for James Comer because of his $200,000 loan with his brother. And he wrote on X, "Breaking, today Representative Moskowitz signed subpoenas for James Comer. It has been reported that Comer also loaned his brother $200,000. We fully expect James to comply, just like the Trumps." Fantastic. And Jared Moskowitz is always doing a great job, as we cover mocking the GOP. On that note, here is a moment that we've looked at a couple times of Jared Moskowitz summing up what this whole impeachment effort on the part of Republicans is really about. And this was from the first impeachment inquiry hearing that went so badly for James Comer that he said, I don't want to hold anymore.
I'll show you. It's a simple board, right? So all other presidents in the United States, 50% of the impeachments. Donald Trump, the other 50. Donald Trump has half of the impeachments in American history. But you know what? He's got 100% of the indictments. 100% of all indictments. 0 for the other presidents. Listen, let me do it another way. I want to channel my inner Tim Russert. So let me go to the board, right? And I don't have Florida. But Donald Trump, impeachments. Oh, how many impeachments? We got 2 there. How many indictments? We got 4. How many for Biden? 0. Donald Trump is right. He's sick of winning. He's just winning, running away with it. And that's why we're here. We're here because of math. That's what this is about. They can't save Donald Trump. They can't take away the 2 impeachments and the 4 indictments, but they can try to put some numbers on the board for Joe Biden. But the problem is when you sling mud, you got to have mud. And they just don't have anything, Mr. Chairman. So look, we get it. We know why we're here. That's why they say the Biden family, the Bidens, James Biden, Joe Biden's dog, Commander, but not Joe Biden. Never Joe Biden. So when are you going to have the vote on impeachment, Mr. Chairman? What are you scared of? Call the vote. Come on. If you all think there's so much evidence, we're here. Call the vote on impeachment. Impeach him right now. I dare you.
And that's exactly it. They can't undo the perception of Trump that Americans have, but they can try to damage the perception of Biden that Americans have. And so I don't know if they really even intend on actually impeaching Biden. It seems like they want to have the votes for that, even if they tried in the House of Representatives. But all of these headlines of the Biden family subpoenaed over alleged business dealings that you're seeing all over the place, those impact people. Lots of people aren't keeping up with the nitty gritty and understanding the absurdity of all this. So they're thinking, gosh, I mean, I don't know, a lot's going on both sides at least. Trump's being indicted and Biden's family's being investigated. Maybe they're more equal than I thought. That's what Republicans are trying to do. It's our job to prevent that the best that we can. Before we go, don't forget to become a member at lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, supporting what we do. You're watching the videos, you're enjoying them, and you're clicking away when I start saying this, and you're breaking my heart when you're doing it. lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. You get a daily bonus show Monday through Friday. Plus, follow me on Threads at Luke Beasley Official, Instagram at Luke Beasley Official, X at Luke P. Beasley, and sign up for the Beasley Brief that summarizes the previous day's events each morning. It's free. It's wonderful at lukebeasleyshow.com/brief, and I'll talk to you all next time.